How did your deal go with us here at Team Armand EXP Realty?
Well, I bought land for the very first time in my life, and this is a really big deal because
Yeah.
I'm buying land to build a home for myself and for my partner, and she is handicapped with a bunch of health issues. And so we absolutely needed to get a piece of land that was going to work for us from a safety standpoint and also was going to work for us from an affordability standpoint because we don't have a ton of money to build the thing that we need.
Sure.
And
And at the same time, this is going to be basically your dream home for the two of you too.
yes, it will be. It will be our dream home. And this is, and how do you figure out how to do affordable, safe, and dream home, preferably in Orange County, because we have a lot of healthcare resources here that we need. This was no small challenge.
And so we definitely had a few challenges as we were doing the deal. Relate a little bit about what happened there.
First, I want to compliment Team Armand for making sure I felt safe and fully informed about all the risks, all of the extra things you got to worry about if you're buying land in some place that isn't commonly developed. These are some of the things that, Armand, that you knew or that Armand knows that I needed to know for buying land in this odd, not quite in the city, not quite all county location. Just buying land. What's the zoning? What's the water situation? What's the sewer situation? Are there encumbrances? Things that are not issues for buying an existing house in an established subdivision. You don't really have to ask those, at least not as much, right? They
Right.
become big deals if
Exactly.
you're buying in the country. So you knew the things to ask that I didn't know about. And then the process for figuring things out. Another big question I had when I met with you, I just said, hey, what do I do? I have no idea what happens next, right? And you just said, well, we have questions that we want to ask. Every land deal is different, but we have to cover all of these things. And you need a certain amount of time to do this. And you pay a little bit of due diligence money, and then you basically lock the land down, made an offer, you're paying your due diligence, and you have enough time. And that you said, because this is land and because it's complicated, we have to ask for more time than might be common, but we don't want to go nuts because you may be competing with other buyers. And then you also said, tactically, here's the reasonable price to offer for the land, here's the reasonable price to offer for the due diligence, and here are the reasonable things to ask so that you feel, we'll go, what you need. I'm going, great, this is what I need to know. And you also really reassured me that the process is fluid. Like I said, what happens if we run into something before the date? Is this? And you go, it's okay if you run into something. We call them, we ask for more time. Usually it's legit, and if we have to, maybe we offer them a little more money. But it's not like life or death moments happen within here, and that really reassured me.
So glad to hear that, Phil. Absolutely.
And meanwhile, I was looking at other options because I know from life, plus you, things fall through. Things don't happen until they happen. And so I kept looking at other pieces of land and other ideas, and you were coaching me along the way. And then you helped me with things like, well, how much might some of these other pieces of land be worth? You knew things that I never heard of, like properties in that neighborhood don't go for more than 450,000. Banks generally like to think of land as being no more than a certain fraction of the whole deal. Therefore, you wouldn't want to pay more than X amount. Oh, great, wonderful.
Exactly.
That kind of thing just is so clear. And for me, I have an engineering degree and an MBA and a generalized anxiety disorder, right? You put those three things together, and I can be just one crazy worrywart. And that doesn't help me. And your knowledge helped me put worries aside so I could focus on what was important. And it's such a big deal. It's such a big help. And I think the two things that sum up how I felt about working with you was that I felt safe because you knew what hazards were and you knew how to negotiate them. So I said, okay, nothing really bad's going to happen to me. I'm not going to waste a bunch of money, and worse yet, I'm not going to buy a piece of land that doesn't work. And then the second thing is that, I felt you were proactive in terms of thinking about what problems and what challenges. And you and Michelle were proactive about making sure I had the things I needed, doing all right, and offering extra things where needed. And so that just makes me happy as a client. And it just all combines to, all right, good things can happen, good things will happen with Armand and his team. These are the partners I need to achieve the goals that I have and feel good about it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words. Truly a pleasure working for you and helping you get this deal done. I mean, Michelle and I and everybody on the team are really proud of having done the deal with you. And like I said, it was a pleasure working for you.